All right, we gonna get this thing together this week.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yo, so we live right now.
We live right now,
We
man. We got
live.
it.
I
We
bet,
we
bet,
we
bet.
we
We
locked.
live in full effect.
We locked and loaded, man.
We
It's your
locked and
boy.
loaded.
It's your boy. We back again with my nephews, man. This your boy J, aka the Yoda Nose, man. We tapping in with my boy C Lewis,
Yeah,
aka Part of My Truth,
was
with my
good.
boy Young Buck, Young Nate, aka the Credit Yoda Year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so this is what we doing this week, y'all. We gonna bust down the effects of culture, right? And the effects of culture, we gonna bring it in like this. Being that everybody on here is an entrepreneur, and we all come from the circumstances of what culture was, what they would consider culture built off of, right? And that's, whether the hood mentality, whether that be hustling, whether that be all the things that come along with that, right? And as we age and get older and we start trying to separate ourselves from that, right? I'm gonna get this question to you, C. Lewis, is as you evolve, like how much of that do you leave behind and how much of that do you take with you?
Um. Okay. So like growing up, man, where I come from, like I'm saying, like we learned that get it how you live mindset. That mindset of make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? That mindset, make a dollar out of 15 cents. We come from the concrete jungle type mindset. So I learned hustle. I learned a lot of ambition towards, hey, ain't nobody gonna give you shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna hand nothing to you. And this coming from the OG, like my mom, you know what I'm saying? I ain't grow up with pops. I grew up around some ambitious, so-called ambitious ass drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? To be
For sure.
straightforward. I grew up around hustlers, man. So all I seen was hustle. Like whether it was niggas going to the local Burlington store or clothing store, coming back, selling it on the strip, whether it was, you know what I mean? You go around the corner, you see your man selling your colognes, you see your man selling your CDs. Of course, you got your hustlers selling, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 80s, so I was born in 87. I grew up in the early 90s, so that, you know what I mean? That's when that thing was moving around in the neighborhood. They was moving that. So you ambitious by that. Like you grew up around hustlers. So what I say I took with me as an entrepreneur was that mindset to grind, that mindset to go make nothing out of something, that mindset to, you know what I mean, get it. You know what I mean? Like keep that ambition. But what I say I like what I don't say, what I say we shouldn't take or don't like, it's not beneficial is the make something out of mindset, something out of nothing mindset to stick around too long, or where it causes you to accept, you know what I mean, lower
Yeah.
level or just grind or just hustle or anything towards low level frequencies, man, like making a dollar out of 15 cents, like it is what it is. Like this is what we got, this is what we on, this is all we can do type shit. So I would say separating yourself from that type mindset is definitely important, man. But keeping the hustle, keeping the ambition to get it, keeping the ambition to grind, you know what I'm saying? Um, but letting go of the grittiness of it, man. Because at the end of the day, um, with me, I've always been that ambitious like person, but entrepreneurship taught me something different. Like I can't think how I used to think about money. You know what I mean? I can't be stingy with money. I can't take money and as soon as I get it, you know what I'm saying, go spend it on something that I always wanted. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
learned how to take money and make it go to work. I mean, make it flip, put it towards an investment towards something like that. You know what I'm saying? So keeping the mindset of not just hustling or not just grinding, but setting something up. You know what I mean? More than just a dollar and 15 cents. Let's make tens and the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? That
For
type shit.
sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Big Nate?
All right, so for me, really just having that low level mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna work, you're gonna come home. This is what it's gonna be forever. Like there's no other way. This is the only way to get some money. Like nah, you know what I'm saying? And you really like it's just crazy because you really will be in that mindset of, I gotta go to work. Shit, fuck it. I need more money. Let me go get another job. Fuck it. Let me go get some OT. You don't never have no time for nothing yourself. You always working, trying to make $1 out of nothing. And it's like you don't got to do all that. You know what I mean? But you don't know that you're supposed to use the job as a tool because ain't nobody around you using the job as a tool. They using the job. That's it. They got one source of income. That's it. One source of income, too close to none. I didn't learn that till shit maybe 3 years ago. Like you got one source of income, man. This shit go bye-bye with you ass out. What you gonna do? Like, ain't it? What you gonna do? So,
Right.
like even it's funny, man, not to digress, but like, Soldier Boy at one time, like he was talking about how he had like multiple businesses and they tried to clown him. They tried to clown him on a podcast. Like, what you mean why I got all these businesses? I'm trying to be a billionaire. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need multiple sources of income because if I got 7 incomes going on, and let's say 2 of them incomes ain't bringing in that bread, I got 5 more incomes that I'm eating off of, that I'm getting residual paper from, that because I'm making so much substantial money, those 2 incomes that I lost, they're no factor. But if I didn't have these other incomes coming in, if I don't diversify my portfolio, I mean, again, that job go today, what you gonna do? And then you start learning about legacy and what a legacy is and what your legacy is. And if I stay at this 9 to 5 forever, I'm building this person's legacy. I'm not building nothing for me. When I leave here, what do I have for myself that I can say I own or I can go pass down to somebody? You can't. Then you look up, shit, you started this job at 21. Motherfucker, you're 45 now and you're still here. Nothing. Didn't create nothing for self. No LLC, no business, nothing. And then you meet somebody that, you should get a business. Man, I got this good ass job. I'm making a good, whatever. But you don't know what's going to happen with that job. That you could go through, the job could go through a loss and let you go, cut you off. Then what you gonna do? You just cut off. You ain't got no. And then if that's all you've been doing your whole life, you ain't try to learn no new trades, no new skill, nothing. Then you can only apply to that type of job then. So now you really shooting yourself in the foot because you didn't diversify yourself. So it's like I just think that mindset of, even like right now, like I love my mama to death, but I'm they say you got to leave people behind. It's hard, when it comes with family like that. People say, yeah, just leave them behind. When this your blood. It's not it ain't the same as cutting a friend off and say fuck you, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you gotta cut people off. And when you cut somebody off, it don't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm not cool with you no more. It's like, I just can't be around you right now. You slowing down my progress to get to the destination. So, I spoke to my mom the other day, trying to get her in position. And you can't really get nobody in position if you don't have their information. Like motherfuckers is be saying, yeah, just go do it for it. What I need information. I need certain paperworks to create a trust fund. I need certain paperworks to be able to get into her credit profile and look and do this shit. That whole, just do it. You can't if you don't got nobody information. And when you dealing with stuff like that, there's certain records you need. So basically, it's just a situation where it's like you got to go do what you got to do. And when your family see you flourish off what you're doing, then they'll come around. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll still be around when you flourish off doing what you do. But, it's just a situation where I call my mom and just checking on her. And then I'm asking her, like, where are you at in your progress? Because she getting her credit fixed right now, quote unquote. But she ain't come to me. She went to somebody else. So that's the effects of the culture too, as well, because it's like.
So let's dig into that, right? Because you brought up an interesting person into the equation, which was your mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the culture always leaves trauma somewhere, regardless, especially coming out of our culture. It's nobody that's came from out of the bottom that didn't have some type of psychological or traumatic scar of some form, right? And I believe that first trauma always begins with the parents. You know what I'm saying? So being that you brought her into this picture, right? So as you evolve and she's not involved, do you ever look at that situation like, because it took you to get over some trauma to get to the mindset you at? Do you ever sit back and think about the trauma she went through prior to you that
Yeah, I
she ain't dealt
mean,
with yet?
at this point, my mom, she just turned 55. It's crazy because my grandmother turned 90 a couple months ago, and then my mom turned 55. So um I do understand, like, it's a whole different generation, it's a whole different mindset. These people were enslaved from her. I'm talking about, it was, put it this way, my mama was that kid who came home from school, and like I said, she had a job. But back in that time, she's a 60s baby. She was born in 68. So she's more closer to the 70s, but she's a 60s baby. And it's like, back in that time, you come home, you drop that check on the table, baby. You gets nothing. You hear me? You drop the check on the table, and that's it. So imagine you got 5 little young bloods in your house that y'all went to work this. It's Friday, right? Where that check at? Mm-hmm. Drop that check on the table, baby. Thank you. You gets nothing. They have no money left. So I do understand that she come from a different time, and I do understand that the trauma she's endured through her journey of making it to 55. That's a wonderful milestone too. I hope I see 55, but it's been a journey for her. Not to mention, my mom lost her parents. She lost her mother in a fire. Like my grandmother, God rest her soul, but she burned alive in a fire, and then, you got 7 siblings, 2 of your brothers had aneurysms. And this goes to that mental health shit where, my uncle was having migraines and headaches and things like that and wasn't telling nobody, was just taking aspirins and shit like that. Because he was a teacher in Boston, and you dealing with kids with disorders and they have mental issues, and you dealing with this every day. So, you don't know what you're going through eternally. Then you go see your brother on a deathbed. And this is what's crazy about spirituality. Last thing I heard my mom say when she seen her brother before he died was, she said something in his ear and a tear rolled down his face, but he was in a coma though. But he heard her. And, my mom, basically, she the oldest now. The oldest sister just died at 60 something years old, smoking cigarettes, not taking care of her health. Again, stuck in the matrix, like we talk about, not, working jobs, not building business. Nobody in her family is rich. Nobody has a business. Nobody has anything. Nobody has the mindset of entrepreneurship. So, even with my dad, work. That's all he do. Work. The only time you see my dad, vacations for my dad be funerals and family gatherings and shit. So, I definitely understand, but my understanding is that I try to get her to understand as well as mom. Every new generation is smarter than a generation before, and I'm your son. So at the end of the day, if I had to trust you my whole upbringing to teach me and help me grow as a man, and this is how the circle of life goes. You're born, you're a baby, you go through adulthood, you break down, you become old, you damn near like a baby again. If you did have some youth or some children, normally the children come back around and they start taking care of you, and they're in control. You are no longer in control. So you're going to have to listen to me at some point, whether you like it or not. So in my opinion, why not start listening to your son now that you see putting people in position? But then we got parents out here outside of the trauma they have endured. It's hard. It's hard to let your kid kind of raise you and teach you something that you're supposed to be teaching them. It's like the biggest hit in the chest, because in a sense, it's like, damn, I was supposed to be teaching you finances and credit. And the first thing she said out her mouth is, we didn't know. But this is the thing with my mother, and I can't let that slide. When I tell you my dad, he don't miss no count in money. This man know how much go in his pocket. He know what's in his wallet. My dad fixed your credit twice. My dad stayed on my mom about finances. I remember the arguments. That's how I know you can't say you didn't know, because your man, my father, was fixing your credit up, getting you out of debt, paying certain. So it's not that you didn't know. It's you didn't give a fuck, in a sense, in a way, if you think about it, because
to an extent,
yeah. You know, and then you got another thing is that's a handicap is when my dad's the breadwinner, and they come from a time where the man get the, you know, and the man take care of. My dad worked a little bit more. My mom was the one that was at home doing things. She worked, but she was more at home than my dad was. My dad was out there hustling, getting the money. I wouldn't see my dad for a couple days at a time. You know what I'm saying? So he was the breadwinner. And this is why, for me, I don't want to be with no woman that just want to sit at home all day. She don't want to do nothing, and you want me to do every damn thing, because the effects of the culture with that is, what happens if I'm not around no more? You never built nothing for yourself. So when I leave, or this don't work out, or I got to go my way, you don't know how to hold it up. Hence, this is where the atmosphere of a relationship goes child support. And then it's not even for the child no more. You taking more money for the, and they never went through that. You know, they're not together no more. But again, the effects of the culture is when you get married, everything is together now. So what she don't take care of falls on who? You. So imagine you getting sued because she ain't paying her bills, and my dad credit went from 791 to a 500 credit score because of it. You know, it's and I don't want to go too deep, but I've watched this, and it does affect the family in a sense, because the family don't come around no more. Nobody does gatherings. Nobody's coming around to do, you know, it's really weird. I'll say that the energy is very weird. And it's kind of like, I got a baby brother too. So guess what? It was sides that was picked, in my opinion. Baby brother go with mama, you know, older go with dad. I'm my father's son. He's a mama's boy, like a mug. Your mom tell you it's snowing outside, and you like, okay, let's go put the shoes on, but it's not snowing outside. He's a true mama's boy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that whole 50 Cent and his son situation that we're watching right now, oh, that's very real. That happens. Where if the mother doesn't want to, or the dad that's not working out and he leave, we'll just put it this way. It was a time where I got a car for my dad, right? And my mom felt though my dad should have bought my brother a car too. But he ain't even, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, it's like, but where you getting this from?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at the whole 50 shit and his son, I don't believe 50 was a bad father. And I do believe $6,700 a month is enough. Because listen, as an entrepreneur, let you be starting off in your journey, making $6,700 a month off of whatever you're trying to do. In my opinion, that's success. I can actually live off of $6,700 a month. The average person don't even make $6,700 at a job a month, or every 2 weeks, every week, or a month in a month. So if you can't make $6,700 stretch, that means you have bad money management issues. But again, like even with my mother, my mom wasn't good with money neither. Not at all. You give her money, going. We just gonna put it this way. It was times I come home from work, I come home, it's dark in the crib. The lights on, but I get a note, yo, me and your brother, we out. But the gas bill not paid and the water bill. So I remember being in a mentorship, and the first thing they said was, what the fuck you celebrating if your bills ain't paid and your shit not together?
Yeah. I mean, so that's what I mean. Like those habits.
And that shit will trickle down.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Those habits come from culture. You replicate what you see. You know what I'm saying? You mimic what's around you.
Yeah. So, which is why, I'm going to cut you off, but which is why I open minds up with those cultural sayings, getting it by any means necessary, making $1 out of 15 cents, concrete
normalized.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
normalize it.
yeah, it becomes normal way of thinking, normal way of living. And like we don't know that. Like when you growing up in it, you don't know what struggle is until you realize what struggle is, right? Peanut butter sandwiches, syrup sandwiches, them shits was normal to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit,
Them,
I would
like
take the piece of
eating
bread,
eating
take the fucking syrup.
frosted flakes with water. That
Real
shit
shit.
normal.
Yeah, yeah.
That was normal. You know what I'm saying? Until you go over like your
Your
aunt
friend's
house and
house.
they eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? They got a refrigerator loaded. You feel me?
You don't even
They
want to
got the
leave that
ices.
motherfucker.
You don't want to leave that motherfucker. Cause you know when you go
You
back
at home
home,
to the trenches. Yes.
it's the trenches where
Yes.
you at.
You
So
ever walk up to the door and it's eviction notice on your motherfucking door and you looking
absolutely,
like, what
man.
the
Yes,
fuck?
absolutely.
And you
Come
trying to
from
hurry
that.
up and take that shit off, but you
Yeah.
taking it off and it's starting to tear off and shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Come
I'm
from that.
telling
But
you,
I come from like my mom, like my mom abused drugs though. You know what I'm saying? But my mom messed with like a lot of like people that was ambitious though. You know what I mean? She ain't just go for no slouch ass niggas. She went for niggas that was making money and to be able to take care of her habits. So my mom was a hustler. I seen my mom hustle. You know what I mean? My mom wasn't just your average ass like crackhead. You feel me? She did her thing. She had gold. She had jewelry. We was straight. You know what I'm saying in a sense, but we struggled. You feel me? But she let us know like nigga, we hustling today. You feel me?
by any means,
We gonna eat. We gonna
by
be
any
straight.
means.
Ain't no need to
Yeah,
worry about nothing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I came up around straight hustlers. So but when I got introduced to entrepreneurship, I realized that that grind mind, that mind to just hustle and grind, it ain't gonna get us to the next level. Let me tell you why. Because when you start like when you think the way we think about, money's a tool, and when you got to have mental discipline, and you got to have strategy and no blueprints and all this stuff that come with being a successful entrepreneur, a successful businessman, a man with valor, a man with integrity, whatever the case may be, you start realizing the less you have time to physically move to make money. I gotta indulge this information. I gotta tap into some type of strategy, make me up a blueprint, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to reach the success I see me reaching using my physical ability. I gotta spread my wings. I gotta make some connections, make some money, do something. But when you're not around now, introduced to that, of course you're gonna go for it. Look, I got this job. Like you come from where cats brag about having 2, 3 jobs. Think of what? I bust out 60 hours this week. You feel me? I bust out 80 hours, and that even becomes normal talk.
Fucking
When you
100
start
hours.
when you start getting a certain level of success, those you start getting certain bragging rights. How much money you making at the job, what kind of car you driving, um, how many hours you done bust out.
Shit get
Like shit,
critical.
I got 2 jobs, and I don't get tired. Nigga. I work the
You just
double shift. Like I work the double. You feel me? Even that stuff becomes normal talk. Like it ain't. You got to get rid of that shit. Everything has to be let go of. You know what I mean? So
and that's hard to do
I
when that.
realized that the most important thing you can do is develop a mental strategy and mental discipline to say, look, it ain't make a dollar out of 15 cents. It's make this money make money. You know what I'm saying? Make an investment. Make this money create an asset type shit. You know what I mean? So
And
it's important, man.
and another thing too is,
But here though, look, I'm gonna throw a curveball into it, right?
go ahead.
But first I gotta turn the spotlights on. You know what I'm saying? Hit the
Yeah.
drum, round of applause.
Yeah.
The nephew just entered the building,
For the
Mr.
homie.
Deontay Ford,
Yes, sir. For the
aka
homie,
the
what's
Wealth
good,
Mongo.
brother?
Indeed. What's good with the blessings to the family, man? How y'all
What's
doing?
good? What's good, baby?
Good,
Man, I'm
bro.
just sitting here listening to the wisdom, listening to the conversation,
Yes, sir.
tapping in. I know that's something we've been wanting to put in motion for a
Yes,
minute,
sir.
man. So yeah, I'm glad to see vision turn to execution.
Absolutely.
It ain't take long neither. Like this shit was talked about a couple weeks ago. Shit.
Nah, This been
Man,
manifested for a minute.
Don't do
real
no
talk.
plan. Don't do
This
no
been
plan.
Yeah, this has been in thought for a minute, man. So this is powerful. You know, shout out to Jay, man. Thank you for the platform. And I know, and I know you say this is all our platform, and I welcome that, man. But thank you for orchestrating it and putting it together.
Indeed.
You know, I think we all kind of in different age groups here. You know what I'm saying? I just turned 29 today. You feel me? So
We the same age
Oh,
now. All
man,
right,
you
there we
did
go.
that. Oh, man,
All
you
right.
slid up in there like
Happy
that.
birthday,
Alright.
bro.
That's how you
Yeah,
slide that.
Birthday, my G.
yeah,
That's
man.
how you slide that up in there, man, for real.
Finally 29.
Yeah.
I ain't the only
Yeah, you know,
29-year-old no more. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's just another day, man. You know, I mean,
Man,
now,
get up out of here, man.
when I hit that 30 piece, when I walk into 30, and see, I'm manifesting that, right? Because I'm, you know, one thing that,
Right.
and man, I'm about to go somewhere with it because you asked such a potent question.
Let's go.
Right, and I don't. And you asked, hey, you asked such a potent question, and the brothers brought a lot of value, right? But I think your question, as an audience member, not live on the panel, I was able to hear your question and think about your question, right? As opposed to having to immediately react to the question or respond to the question. So if I recollect correctly, you essentially asked, what were the impacts of Black culture? Essentially, is what is being alluded to. What are the impacts of culture in our community? And as we're transitioning out of that, what do we bring with us, or what are the impacts of what we're from? And how does it impact us as we transition into this new stage of existence? And it just made me think about, see, I wanted to get up here to real. Like y'all was talking to real, but I was able to meditate on it, right? So niggadom transitions into the stage of entrepreneurship and being a businessman, right? The snake in the grass, crab in the barrel mentality, competition with one another instead of collaboration with one another, right? The misinformation and the being maliciously harmful to our own people for the sake of gain is still
man.
Our community.
Call it out.
The nigga shit don't go nowhere. And so what we have, and shout out to the panel, because everybody up here, right? I know y'all are all authentic men. You feel me? I know y'all are real passionate men, serious about your objectives, right? You mean what you say and you say what you mean. And that's respectable in a society where people want you to stay quiet if you don't comply with the narrative being promoted. So the culture is impactful in various ways. Street credibility. If you decide to transition into a realm of being proper, professional, eloquent, interacting and engaging with other races, learning business, learning economics, being able to have conversations about politics and history, you are labeled a square, L7, right? We don't want to hear that shit, right? Sharif or whatever they called him on Minister Society. We don't want to hear that shit, right? So it is in our culture frowned upon to be intelligible. It is in our culture frowned upon to want to duplicate the systems that we see creating success for other races, because we are taught in the culture that we have to rebel against the system when it's not the system that is in opposition to us. It is us not using the system being opposition to ourselves, right? And that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about. So that's what we really come together on this podcast for. And I'm not going to go into it, but I know that's what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with people on the internet, man.
Most definitely.
You know, so here's the curveball, right? Because everything that each one of y'all outlined, the mentality and everything else that come along with that, right? When you look at it and you say, okay, I grew up like this. I know I come out of this. I know what this mindset is here. I'm comfortable right here because this is what I done adopted. This is what I done grew up. I know how to maneuver in here. I know how to spot stuff. I can detect this. I can detect that. I know what I need to say right here. I know how my posture needs to be. I know what my vernacular needs to be and all that. And then I take that step from here and be like, you know what? After a minute, you be like, okay, This is just it becomes too much at a certain point. And when it becomes too much, it's two things that happen. Either you adjust and you move away from it, or you become succumbed by it. Either way, you know what I'm saying? But when you move up out of it, you get into different environments, your guard stays up regardless.
Yeah, so there every situation, like your environment is naturally going to cause you to have a certain way of operating, and you're going to have a certain perception about people.
Right.
And so was damaging, but also beneficial, right? Because keeping your head on a swivel constantly, right? Never really being too friendly or trusting of people, right? Having a pessimistic view on people around you, expecting the worst of people. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that we have to have in the environments that we come from, because we're not taught to move with principle and moral and honor. So we have eyes for behavior that seem janky. But when we bring that characteristics and that set of eyes into an environment where people aren't operating like that, we are causing those people to form perceptions about us, misconceived notions about us, because we don't let our guard down, right? To allow those people to bless us. And that's anybody in all races, right? And so that's, bro, we talk about it all the time, bro. Like, you even tell me, right? Like as an OG to me, because you understand I'm younger, I still got the fiery spirit. The hyphy shit I'm not far removed from it, right? I'm coming from a space where it's like, I'm finna tell them how I feel, period. I'm finna let you know. And if it's a problem, we're gonna common sense out the window, logic, thinking about the consequence, all of that stuff.
It's that young mind.
I'm just now transitioning in the last 2-3 years of my life, right, into this adulthood and manliness, right? But those characteristics linger. They linger. You know what I'm saying? So that's the impact of culture, and that's why it's important, especially for the men like that's on here right now, that's fathers, right, that are raising young men, bro. We gotta change the narrative. Meaning we gotta check that shit. We gotta get that character, that in check, bro. Because it's worthless. It's worthless if you can't control it. All of that it's like combustion. You know what I'm saying? You just explode, as opposed to little bit at a time, effectively when necessary. And I think that's a lack of fathers, bro. That's a lack of masculine male energy present to tell us, yo, you don't gotta be reactive to everything. Right? There's a lot of niggas in jail right now, excuse my French, just because they was reactive in the moment. The culture told them, if somebody disrespects you, you gotta go to the extremes. You can't be compassionate, forgiving, diplomatic. No, that's soft. No, you gotta take a life.
Yeah, for sure. Now,
you know what's crazy about what you said too? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to ask this question.
It's crazy that you say that, because I know a lot of brothers who mothers, like I had friends as kids, we get into fights and we go back to their crib and the mom be like, "Did you win? Oh, get your ass back out there. Go, you ain't coming in this house." And that's again effects of the culture. Like, and I was just around. It's just crazy how we having this and we was just talking about this, how remember as a kid, like when your mama knew you got in a fight and you walk home and she felt like you got your ass whipped, she sending you right back up. You ain't coming in this house.
That was fathers,
and fathers was
that was fathers too.
And that main was dads, but your mother, she tell you get back out there, or you gotta go back outside and fight. And in some instances, she'll stand at the door and make sure that you go back out there. And so it's like we've been conditioned from birth to be like, and it's like you said, like my mom always taught me, like, you could say the same thing. You don't gotta tone up on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Be cool, but be stern in your speech. That's it. You say the same thing, but you don't come from that culture of people. And we come from I gotta do it now. If you ain't doing what I'm telling you to do, if I don't like how you doing or coming, I'm gonna beat you up or I'm gonna kill you. That's it. Seems like it done elevated to now, I'm gonna just kill you. We ain't doing no more talking, ain't no fighting, ain't nothing. You do something I ain't messing with, I'm getting you up out of here.
But
And
look,
that's a
even in that, but look,
dangerous.
even in that mindset, right? Check this out, though. See, this is what I mean by what you carry, what you leave, and what you carry, right?
Mhm.
Because even the element of death, right, coming out of the community,
Right.
nobody pushed death like that. They
Mm-mm.
made death, they made killing somebody a badge of honor. Like it gave you a reputation, or it gave you credibility within the community. You know what I'm saying? When you did it, when you got back, it was like, man, why you do that? It was like, oh man, that's my oh nigga, you the big G, or you the little G, or you the you the shooter, or you the hitter. You give them nicknames. You do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Till it pump you up. It's no different than like if sports. If you was the dude with all the handles, everybody pumped you up because they knew you could ball. They do the
Mhm.
same thing for that. You know what I'm saying? The same way you would if you was doing good and somebody pumped you up, or you was getting A's and B's in school, and somebody was and pumped you up and made you the honor roll and all this stuff that made you feel like that's what I need to be focused on. That's what I need to get. But it's the opposite now. You know what I'm saying? The killing, you give them badges of honor for that. If you got the bag, you get a level of credibility that come with, oh, I got the bag, or I'm getting the bag, or or I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? It's a level of that come with that, and the
Right.
risk become irrelevant.
Right.
The risk of life become irrelevant to it.
Yeah, it seemed like this. It just seemed like I don't know, man. This shit is getting crazy out here, though.
Yeah.
And it's
So when you make that transition up out of that environment, and then you get over to this other environment where you start to see things different, where you start to see how other people move, where you starting to see how they building wealth, when you start seeing how they operating in business, when you start seeing how they operating in family structure, you start reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And now you uncomfortable. Now you uncomfortable.
So here's my thing, right? Because it's a powerful conversation, and I think it's necessary for us to kind of pinpoint key things, so that way when the people are leaving the conversation, there's highlight points for them, right? So we're talking about culture, and we're talking about the pros and the cons of culture, the benefits of the things that we learned growing up in our culture, and how they translate to the new people that we are trying to be, right? Um, Shout out to Kanye, man. Kanye in the news for, for, for,
For real, you slid Kanye into the mix.
hey, you see how I did that, man? Hey, shout out to Kanye, right? And that's gonna make a lot of people very upset that I said that. But shout out to Kanye, as an intelligible, critical thinker that evaluates a decision that a man makes. I can look at the entirety of it and say, you know what? I understand the objective behind why he did what he did, but that's because I understand that he is not a small or surface minded thinker, right? It's layers upon layers upon layers of what he's really tapping into when he's saying the things that he's saying. And y'all got to go read Malcolm. Y'all got to go get into legal definitions and understand political statuses and all of that to really understand what he's talking about. And we ain't gonna cover that here tonight. But shout out to that, right? Because he had an interview, I believe it was with Big Boy, right? Where he was asked, like, did you turn your back on the culture? And he said, yeah. If fucking other niggas bitches, and if y'all don't like explicit language, sorry, this ain't the platform for you. Not when I'm here. Excuse my friend. And I'm quoting Kanye, but he said, if you don't like having sex with other men's women, if you don't like killing your brother, right? If you like killing your brother, if you like doing all of this degenerate behavior, then absolutely I turn my back on the culture. I'm telling people about acquiring land. America is for sale. I'm telling people about becoming financially literate. I'm telling people about how to get involved in politics and influence these parties to actually do what we want them to do and serve our agendas in exchange for our vote, right? Because the culture is currently attacking and silencing him right now because he is willing to say and speak something against the media complex in Hollywood, right? And so notice the culture itself is designed to eat itself when itself does what's in the best interest of the culture, right? It self-sabotage. They don't got to go get any other race of people to do anything to us. All they have to do is find agents, provocateurs within our own community, disguised as lovers of us as a people that will act on their best behalf. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Indeed. So now look,
Not our best behalf.
it's not our best behalf. So let's flip it now. We on the other side, right? You on the other side looking back at it. You know what I'm saying? Rear view mirror type shit. How much of yourself do you change and how much do you hold on to?
I mean, you talking about for change purposes?
Yeah, I'm saying from where you are right now, looking in the rear view mirror, right?
Right.
And you got your you know clean you know had your front windows clean. You got a clear vision now. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no traffic in front of you. None of that. And you like, okay, I'm trying to get here. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at family. I'm looking at, you know, longevity in business. I'm looking at, you know what I mean, all of that. How many times do you look in the rearview mirror and leave what's behind you behind and not think about it?
So for me, I don't know. I feel like my situation a little different, man. Like I'm really doing this by myself. Like I don't have my family behind me like the average. When all right, so people look at support different ways. In my opinion, I'm an action dude. I don't give a damn about no words and all that. People say words out their mouth every day and don't mean shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I'm an action guy. You got to show me in your actions. So if you say you support me, you ain't got to buy nothing from me. But there's other ways to support that. I don't receive that from family. I don't even get a phone call from family, if that's what we talk about. Friends and all that. So with that being said,
do you need before you
don't know.
Before you add that, I'm saying so in that situation, right? That would be something in your rearview mirror because you already know that you get that, right? So do you need that? Do you need that validation from a mental standpoint for you to move forward? Do you need that as validation to know that?
Nah, because at some point you gonna keep knocking your head trying to take everybody with you. And at some point, you're gonna understand that your path is your blessing getting slowed down because, you know, Dick Gregory said it. You know what I'm saying? The best, like, you know, when you get selected, you don't got no option. You selected, so you got to walk in your light, and you can't be trying to put your glasses on everybody else, getting them to see what you got. They was placed on you for a reason. So look through your glasses. Stop trying to put them on everybody else. And by you trying to get everybody else to come on board, that's you trying to put your glasses on everybody else. So yeah, you're gonna have to. You got to get left, man. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm gonna love you from a distance because what I'm trying to do here, I can't keep stopping the train. I never seen a train doing U-turns. You know, it stops. It gets to the destination. That's it. So if I keep looking back in the rear view, I'll never get to where I'm going because I keep trying to come back and help. You don't want the help. When I extended my hand, you slap my hand away. So I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna help you when I, you know, get to where I'm going and I'm able to come back and do what I need to do.
So I got a question. In terms of the culture, right? A problem that we can see that has existed for a long period of time is our inability to unify. Right? We for some reason, every other ethnic community or racial group, though divided, they can unify as one race.
But do you think that's our fault? That we not unifiable? And
I think it would be illogical to suggest that we don't have fault in the matter.
No, we do. Or should I let me rephrase it. Do you think it's fully on us at this point?
Well, are you talking? Is it fully on us to change it, or is it fully on us?
I mean, in my opinion, it's going to be on us to change it. So you know what I'm saying?
So you're not asking if it's on us to change it. Are you asking right now, as of today, are we not able to unify because of our own actions?
Yeah, because you know the first thing when people say stuff, what you saying is, but slavery and this and that and all that, you know. So
Yeah, so I don't operate in the realm of emotion,
Right.
right? And as men, we shouldn't do that, right? That is a very female, feminine nature or characteristic to not be emotional, but to be led or steered by your emotions, to draw conclusions based on your emotions, to make decisions based on your emotions, because you can feel infuriated, but responding in an infuriated fashion may get you a consequence you're not prepared for. So you have to have enough emotional intelligence to say, okay, I'm infuriated, but what's the best course of action to take right now? Right. And so I'm very well aware of everything that has happened to us as a people. I happen to be a history buff, right? I I know that there's no way for us to really understand how to get out of the trap if we don't study the trap. So you have to thoroughly study the trap so that way you can be unemotional about it, just understand it, and to begin to make counter moves, right? So for me, I would say yes. Right now, in 2022 today, in the current political, economic climate, even in the current racial climate, if we want to call it that, there is nothing. We're not remotely close to the conditions that our great grandmothers and great grandfathers were in during the civil rights era. We're not. We're not being attacked with dogs. We don't have white men running around on hoods, burning houses. We ain't getting called nigga and boy every time we hit the streets. We can go inside of 99.9% of any store and purchase whatever we want. And if there was a hint of racial discriminatory behavior shown, we would throw a motherfucking fit. And that store manager, and everybody would hear about
Right.
it. And it would, yeah. So let's cut the cap. No,
Right.
it's our fault right now.
Mm-hmm.
We love
Yeah,
being
we could be
nigga.
strictly honest.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, 1,000.
Straight up.
If we could be authentic and like, yes, bro, I'm glad you said it and made it as plain as you have, because our issues haven't been with the other side as far as what we're talking about
Nah,
for a long time,
nah.
because we've seen and we've had dialogue where we expressed a bunch of successful black and brown people, millionaires,
Right,
touching M's,
right.
ownership, like all types. But you know what brung them down?
Right.
Not being able to stick together or
Every
continue
time.
to capitalize and
Every time.
or continue to be militant or strategize, or it's a motherfucker with his hand in the pot, or it's something. So it shows that our our biggest threat and enemy is shit. That shit is in the inside camp,
Mm.
right? Because of infiltration, right? For sure. And we just have to be more. It's economic at this point. It's economic redemption.
But you know what though? And this is gonna sound regurgitated. I'm gonna sound like Boys in the Hood pops up on you that's furious. I'm about to
Nah,
sound
for
like
sure.
furious. You feel me? I know I'm preaching, right? But how long we been knowing? How long we been knowing what we said, bro? Jay
Nah,
is an
facts.
OG, bro. When Jay was our age, running through the neighborhood, the old heads was saying the same shit.
Same
Facts.
thing to him, right?
Listen,
Facts.
we've been on some wild shit,
So,
bro.
so let me ask you this too, to add to the problem. Because I agree
We
with
don't
y'all. I
want to
think
add
it's.
to the problem. We
I
want to
think.
add to the
I
solution.
mean, we
Damn,
going to add to the solution, but this is the issue as well.
that was the right choice of words.
I will agree that it is on us at this point because
For
I ain't
sure.
seeing nobody getting sprayed with no damn hoses and dogs sick on nobody.
Nobody getting their
You know,
tongues ripped out for
yeah.
reading and
So
talking and
when
shit.
brown melanated
Come on.
kings and queens want to talk about the white man, the white man don't got shit to do with your losses right now. It's
But
you.
wait a minute though, if
You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
mistaken, right? So I know that like within our own community, we are divided in so many different factions between religion, gang,
Color.
gang banging,
How we
sexual identification,
it's crazy.
political identification, uh financial status, right? Cities and area codes. We find literally everything to make
fight
me
about.
different than you. No. I gotta be different than you, right?
Mhm.
And then we find ways, right? This J. Edgar Hoover said that that allegedly is on record to have said that the single greatest threat to America is the rise of a black messiah, right? Interesting.
I
So
mean,
we are battling this programming and archetype of being a thug because they don't want messiahs. They don't want warrior minded men. They don't want diplomatic ruler minded men. They don't want elitist minded, educated, intelligible minded men, right? They want slaves and they want slave watchers or whatever you call them, right? They want Negroes that'll watch the rest of the Negroes, and so they'll prop these Negroes up and give them diamonds and cars and
and
fame.
that's the Matrix bullshit.
That's the Matrix.
And that's the shit that our people. It's that shit like a motherfucking drug, like and it's even with the jewelry. Like ain't nobody saying don't get jewelry, but you're not even investing in the jewelry, right? You busting everything down. You doing this. I mean, just. But again, like for instance, we be on live. You talk about some real shit, they get your ass off the live. But if you get on live talking about some BS and you entertaining the Matrix, the shit love you. And that's what I'm saying by I just think everybody, Jay Prince Jr. say it all the time, like everybody got chances and choices. You wake up with both of them every morning.
Chances
so the things you do with the chances you take with the choices you get to receive, it's on you. So at the end of the day, at some point, self got to sit down with self and take accountability. Like, motherfucker, you where you at because of you. We are where we at because of us at this point. The killing and all that shit. I heard somebody say this shit so bad. The brown melanateds is doing way better work than the KKK ever did. That speaks volumes to hear somebody say that.
So allegedly, based on the data that I've encountered, only about 3,500 people that they have on record were killed by the KKK. Last year, we had 7,000 to 8,000 homicides internally as a people. Last year, in 1 year, we don't want to add up 1990 to today. Them numbers are astronomical, right? We don't. And see, this is what I'm saying, bro. Shout out to the and not on a religious tip, right? But just shout out to Farrakhan, shout out to Khalid Muhammad, right? Shout out to what's his name? Dr. What's cuz name from Public Enemy? Professor Griff. Shout out to Professor Griff. You know what I'm saying? Even shout out to Nick Cannon. I know people feel ways about Nick. Shout out to Kanye, bro. Shout out to the so-called black men that are unapologetic on social media, on the mass media complex, that have no fear of trying to, you know what I'm saying, of backlash for not placating.
The crazy thing that you just brought up,
that, bro, because right now more than ever, what our culture needs and what our culture is lacking is fearlessness. We need and control fearlessness in the right direction, because we're not afraid to kill each other. That's evident. But we are afraid to unite in a systematic, organized, effective fashion to make our opposition worry. We are very terrified of that.
And this is just my opinion, but I mean, we've seen it in the past. What happens when we come together? When brown melanated kings and queens come together, what happens? They come destroy the businesses that we create. They come kill our heroes, as you will say. Anybody who try to step out and talk the truth. They get your ass up out of here. I could name a few. Dr. Sabi tried to tell you about your health. They got his ass up out of here by locking him up in a jail and did to him who knows what, right? You got Dr. King, Malcolm X, all these wonderful people coming out trying to unite and do this. And what happened? They air you the fuck out. So at the end of the day, the fear is, even on social media platform now, we was just talking about this before you came in the room, before you even started the podcast, that, you know, the brother Andrew Tate, which a lot of people don't know, that's a wealthy man in real life outside of social media. He got 100, he's over 100 M's. So a man like that can get canceled and leave the country and be fine. Nothing happens. Everybody ain't like that. And so you got a situation where the freedom of speech is compromised now. You cannot talk about what you want to, and it's always been and it's always will, because you can't get on a platform and speak about nothing about health, finances, bettering yourself, or even opening. Once you start touching people where you got people changing mindsets, and I mean, only reason I'm saying it from when I'm saying this.
No, I agree, but it's just the language that
it's the language I'm using, but
I'm going to improvise, because we can do whatever we want to do, and can't nobody stop us from doing what we want to do, and we'll use their platforms until they decide, if they decide to censor us. But
that's
the
the thing.
Point is, that's the thing so we talking about culture shifting. Culture shifting has to, when I'm talking about fearlessness, bro.
So why not come together and build our own platform? Why we keep getting on these people's platforms?
We don't need to be relying on any of these platforms.
But then when somebody going to do it, and matter of fact, we already doing it right now. Matter of fact, we got a platform, but you notice nobody's dealing with the platform.
But it's various, like Patreon is a dope platform that is very anti-censorship, right? So you can take stuff to the Patreon, right? And there's Rumble, there's plenty of other platforms that are emerging in opposition to these tech giants that are monopolizing and censoring all dissent, right? And so that's what I'm saying, bro. We got to really understand the smoke that we're in. You know where the culture needs to shift. We need our young men at 8, 9, 10 years old to be acclimated with the politics of the land. They need to understand the form of government, the arrangement of and responsibility of different parties in government, right? Or different branches in government, jurisdictions. They need to know law, because you don't just turn 18, 19 and know this shit and just study it for a couple years and you got it. No, this needs to be embedded into them at youth. That Second Amendment right, I don't know if y'all know how important
you learn this stuff,
but it's important to Black people. Bro, we need this, bro. We're the most vulnerable society in America. Do you know how crazy it would be if we didn't have weaponry? It would be crazy. There'd be nothing preventing us from being forcibly put back into chattel slavery. Right. So
listen, let me ask the panel this question, and I want to answer from each one of y'all. Show me a CIA agent.
I can't.
Can you show me a CIA agent?
Hell no.
C. Lewis. Nate.
Matter of fact, I'm a cheat. I can show you one that's retired that said they a CIA agent.
No.
Can you, Nate?
Nope.
Exactly. So my premise in that is we gotta learn to not be seen all the time.
And that's what one of the OGs told me. I met an OG from the feds, and this was when I first stepped into the law shit. I don't know if it was by God or what, but I'm in the store and he bumped into me. I said something real quick. He told me sit down. So when you say like you don't need to be, this shit ain't meant to be spoke. Like that's what I mean by like
no, it's meant to be spoken.
Yeah, it's meant to be spoken, but it's just the way. It's the way.
It's the way in which you do it, and that's the premise of everything that I set this stage for. Is
you know what it is too.
Behind and what you carry with you matter, because you come from an environment where you rub. Soon as somebody say something, rub. soon as you get some money, you want to flex. So when you start bringing up these key points about what you want to change and what the culture needs and what the youth needs, you got to learn how to change that without being seen.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's still effective. But the difference is you're not painting yourself on Front Street for somebody to prevent you in your movements.
Right, but see, that's so that's at a collective level though, not an individual level.
No, because it started at an individual level. This is a prime example. You looking at a prime example right here in this. You looking at a prime example.
Nah,
but this is the thing. Everybody ain't on.
Everybody want to focus big before they fit. Everybody want to focus big before they focus small.
And then you got to look at it like this too.
No,
how many of these? Let's put it this way. All right, you get a room. You got some kids from here on this side. You got kids from here on this side. You know, to bring a group of people together that's been trained to go against each other is not the.
It's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task, and then you got to take into account. Anything is possible.
No, but this is what I'm saying though. I'm going to dissect what you're saying. Though. As you said, I'm going to dissect each one of them because each one of the things you're saying is an acute.
Right.
So, break it down. You said I'm gonna get these kids, put them in a room.
Get these kids and you get these kids together.
And that's a difficult task.
So put it like this:
as an observer, right? As an observer, just like you on these just like you in these internet streets every day. Just like you hear what people say, you hear what they talking about. You can discern who's receptible to information and who's not. You can tell who's capping and who's not. So why would you bring in a bunch of people in a room that's capping as opposed to bringing in the people that's willing to listen and learn? Because if you start there, they become reflections. As those reflections grow, those other ones that you thought was capping and everything else, they gonna change because they gonna see the change.
So I want to rewind back to what you said a little bit earlier, and I agree with you. Everybody wants to focus on being big instead of focus on, or everybody wants to go from small to big. How I interpreted it is everybody wants to go from small to big without taking small, tiny building steps. And they specifically prefer individual popularity and
there we go.
Opposed to group success.
There you go.
And so that's a reality, right? And this is why I say it's unfortunate, right? But we got 2 listeners on the live and we got about 6 people here. We 4 individuals have an abundance of wisdom to provide, life-changing information, right? From a financial perspective, from a mentality perspective, right? That can absolutely change the trajectory of somebody's life. But unfortunately, the reality is in order to get people to listen to you, you have to have money. Because
hell no, I ain't buying that. You ain't selling me that one.
No, there's a couple of other options on the list that I ain't covered.
Okay, I'll let you get through them.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for like at least 2 more.
So you have to either be able to buy their attention.
Niggas buy followers every day.
No, but that's not real.
That's not. So what?
We know.
Engagement and translation to income is good if that's what the followers are doing. But I'm talking on a different level. So think about it.
Yeah.
We don't have a political party that represents us.
Stay on your point she was making though. Don't
no,
on the 5.
No, I'm not. Okay. This is part of my point. I'm saying across the spectrum, we don't have a political party. We don't have a major banking or life insurance institution that's dominant. We don't have any dominance or control in any of the branches of government. We literally don't have collective power at a high level anywhere. So in order to, the way they have the system set up right now, the most popular influential people are artists and athletes. because those are the people that have the ability to give them the materialistic presence of wealth. So automatically, I'm captivated by your appearance. Now you're giving me an image of what success is. Now that is what I want to duplicate. So I am open ears to listening to what you have to say. They've also made it in the culture, right? You have the hater card issued to you if you speak against the athletes or the entertainers. If you're hypercritical about their hyper promotion of brands that don't enrich us, if you're hypercritical about their promotion of degeneracy when it comes to rap, right? Genocide, a destruction of nuclear families, etc. Right? Oh, we don't want to hear that shit. Oh, you a hater. Oh, you ain't got your bag up. Oh, go get your life right. What's your life like, etc. Right? So all four of us, we are limited to how we can make influence. Right? We could do it with knowledge and education to a degree that is going to attract the people like that are here right now. Shout out to those people. But the majority of I know all four of us done listen to Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, bro. The devil got the majority of the minds out here, bro. The majority of the people out here live in negativity. They are consumed by drama, chaos, disorder. They want no growth. They are only focused on individual consumptions, pleasures, and desires. They are not prepared to make the sacrifices that it would take for us to collectively gain power in this country at a high level.
Absolutely.
So we don't even want to go. We don't even want to team up with people. Like it's so bad. You got African Americans that fight against people that come from quote unquote the motherland. So before you can even.
So yo, I want you to build. I'm just gonna give you my other two reasons. So we either go, and here's the unfortunate thing. You can buy their participation, but you can't buy their loyalty.
Nope.
But money is the only way you can even get them to participate outside of violence. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Y'all might not like it, but violence, force. If people understand, we all watch State Property, Get Down and Lay Down. It would need to be like some Nation of Islam shit converted into a real militaristic force with weapons that would go into black communities and fight against the gangs and tell them all of that shit is done. You either are for us or we ain't gotta call the white man or the police on you. We finna get your ass ourselves.
Straight up.
So those are those two right there, or the third unrealistic option is being able to control media to control social engineering. If we can build a large enough media complex to shift the viewing audience away from their platforms to our platforms, then we can control the thinking in our community, because we don't right now. We don't control our own.
We haven't controlled it in a long time, and it's
because we've been turned into financial prey, and the other side has always been financial predators. You dig what I'm saying? So if we don't know if we can't learn how to become financial predators, you feel me, and hunt together, then we're gonna always be looked at as prey. Which is why I stated what I stated earlier about how we need like this economic redemption type thing. Like we need to rebuild, like we need to start over. And like I believe these conversations has been had before, like not to make it religious or whatever, but these are those upper room conversations, right? What strategies can we come up with to make a better people, to build a better community for real?
Right, so here's a question.
What's going on?
How many people does it take to buy a property?
Shit.
One
person.
So this is what I mean by when I make the comment of small targets, big effect. Mm-hmm. Because everything Deontay outlined is all factual. I'm not disputing that. But everything he said was on a grand scale.
Facts.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, I'm not opposed to what you're saying though. Like at a small level.
I'm not saying that you're opposed to it, just like I'm not opposed to what you're saying. But I'm talking about from an effective standpoint for change, you have to start small to build big. So those
Right,
things
here's
that
the
you
problem.
outline is generational. That's not
So,
that's
so,
not
so, so here's what I need you to lay out for me. Lay out for me, right? How, because we all here can have individual success to the degree that we seek to be successful. Of course, there's ceilings on how much success we can have without building relationships at another level above us to pull us up to that level in most scenarios, right? But what I'm saying is this: explain to me how we get the ear of the people without getting money or influence. Because even if the five of us all went and what you're laying out, right? You're saying we got to build small. It still translates to we all have to go get a bag and build small, and then get big enough to have to have enough pull or leverage to then go to the people and say, listen to me. Earn Your Leisure didn't have pool when they first started, but because matter of fact, they came to the space already as successful brothers in their space, so they could give the imagery necessary for people to listen, right? Shout out to them brothers. Shout out to him 500. He did the same thing. It's marketing. As much as we don't like it, we got to play the game the same way everybody else got to play the game. We don't have to, but if we want to get the audience members right in the matrix, we for sure have to, right? Because that they're looking for a certain set of criteria before they even listen to you.
You ain't got no money. You don't look a certain. I mean,
and this
what you basically just said, bro. The most powerful tools we have is to think. And our first most powerful tool is to think. The second most powerful tool is to believe.
Facts.
And you just like, what do they believe? And what do we got them thinking they believe? You know what I'm saying?
Money cause.
Right.
I mean, let's look at it now. Like what he was saying, just to agree on what he was saying. I mean, it's kind. I will agree with King. Like, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got shit. These motherfuckers don't want to listen to you. They don't want to hear. Even right now, look.
All right, so check it out then. All right. So
I like that. I just want to say I like
both of those comments. Both of the comments. Nate comment and Deontay comment. Look, Nate comment and Deontay comment was both negative comments. Now watch this. Now check this out. Watch this. Nate just said who gonna listen to him, but yet and still, you up here every night on social media talking your shit, right?
Everybody don't listen though.
But they are listening because they there.
They're listening, but you could be there and still not listen.
They there, but you say they're not listening because they not spending their money with you on what you.
Nah, I don't got nothing to do with spending money.
I'm just saying, so that you can't say they not listening because they listening. Whether they bust a move or execute or anything else, it don't matter. You got their ear. They listening.
Right, but see,
every time we on live, hold on, Deontay. Every time we on live, even when Deontay is on live, people is listening.
Nah, you right.
People, every time you go live, you get new followers because they listening.
Yeah.
The difference is you putting a value on what you saying compared to what you think they are taking in or not taking in. 3 weeks ago, when I went on live with Chris, I hit Chris up. I said, bro, this is what I'm finna do. We see what's going on in the marketplace. I ain't never flexed no money, no sports card, no none of that. Ever. None of that. I said, Chris, this is what we finna do. We gonna go on live.
Y'all come over to the YouTube. Talk Heavy Media on YouTube. Come over to YouTube.
I said, we gonna do this. I'm gonna set up a Telegram group for free. I'm gonna let 50 people come in and we're gonna give them the sauce every week. We're gonna give them the game. It's 50 people in there. It's almost 50 people in there. Been there 3 weeks. You can go in there and ask any one of them if anything that I've been saying or giving of value, do they appreciate it or not? That's a small group.
No, they be in there.
It didn't cost them no money. It didn't cost me nothing but time. I guarantee you it's at least 20 people in their mindset that shifted on what they thought and what they was and what they not on some other different shit now that's going to help them better wherever it is that they doing. So you can't say that I got to be in a Ferrari or I got to be stunting or I got to be have a dollar amount or any of that thing for somebody to listen to me. Because at the end of the day, if what you saying ain't no bullshit and it's actually helping, the people that it's gonna help, it's gonna help. That's on a small, minute scale with nothing behind it but time and energy.
Hey, Jay, that's and to be honest, that's with anything. That's with anything, bro. If anybody believe in what you got going on, you could convince somebody to sell paper clips, bro.
If you believe in what you got going on.
If you believe in what you got going on.
But see, so Jay, I hear you, right? But I don't think you really responding to me, right? Because I'm not even remotely close to claiming that you have to have money to get listeners or gain an audience. That's not what it's levels, right? I'm literally the epitome of somebody that didn't have riches, had a wealth of knowledge and a specialized skill set, marketed it to the masses, and now I have listeners and I have an audience and I make money, right? And that's only going to continue scaling. But what I'm saying is right now, the things that Deontay has to say, the value, the abundance of intelligence and wisdom that I bring to this place, to this space, right now I don't make enough money or have the image necessary for people to value the things that I'm saying. The same shit that I'm saying right now, niggas gonna be like, we ain't listening to that.
And they do that shit to me every day.
That's why I said what I said, because I'm like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, bro. I'm telling you that's bullshit.
Thank you.
Go
ahead, let Mr. Rich go. Let Mr. Rich go.
Let me just say for the record that we're not talking about exceptions to the rule. Like, bro, I got people DMing me that have blue checks, former NFL athletes, showing me love about what I teach, right? Potential clients. But that's one in thousands. And what I'm saying is right now, you gotta pay to play, bro.
Yep.
Simple.
So check this out.
You gotta pay to play, bro.
Check this out. Let me ask all y'all this, right? So the easiest way for any one of us to connect with somebody face to face would be to, of course, go into that environment, right? So
yeah.
So if the objective is to change the minds of those that we don't think would even listen to us because they're looking for a flashy car or some jewelry or whatever the case may be, I don't even think that would be what would gain my ear. That might be one of them situations where, if I remember back where I'm from, that might look like I'm a set you up move. So I would be more open to hear somebody that like you come to my area where I'm from, G-welled up thinking you about to pour some life insurance information on me, I'm gonna rob you. That's just where I'm from. That's how it goes down.
You know, but see, that's not happening to people that see, no, that's a misconstruction right here, right? Because wait. Let me just say this.
Let me finish my thought, because what I'm saying is
that's a misrepresentation of what we're saying, though.
No, what I'm saying, I'm telling you for a fact that these people be shermed out where I come from, and they don't care about what you have to say, especially coming there flaunting. So when we say,
I'm not listen, me personally, right? And my mother right now is not a recovering addict, but still a as she would call it, right? A medicinally using addict, right? It's almost I can't let it go, so I gotta use it in small doses. I got it under control, but I'm still doing it type of thing, right? So, but listen, bro, my message ain't to sherm heads. My message ain't to crack heads. My message. If you're in that position and condition in life, then you need clinical, medical, psychiatric assistance. You don't need financial education. You don't need.
He didn't mean that, Deontay. That ain't what he meant.
No, but listen though. But see, that's an extreme example.
No, what I'm saying is, you saying that the extreme examples has to be taken out the equation where there's blue checks that are DMing you. But so on the flip side of it,
that's not no. Let me simplify what I'm saying, because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm simply saying this: it's levels to life, There are levels to entrepreneurship. There are levels to marketing and advertisement. There are levels to politics. Every game that we want to participate in. You as an individual can only have so much influence without paying to even garner individual influence, right? To be able to get your message out to a larger audience, which if you're selling a product, a good, or a service, translates to more potential customers, right, etc. You gotta pay to play. Marketing, America is ran on marketing and advertisement. This country is conditioned people to be superficial. So sure, you can reach a certain level of people and a certain number of people without the bag. But if you really want to be able to reach millions of people, you need millions of dollars. If not millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars in mass marketing. And you don't even need hundreds of thousands. If you could spend a 50 piece on marketing, you could get a video to circulate for a year going crazy amongst millions of people, right? But you got to pay to play. If nieces and nephews is going to compete with $1 million worth of game, we need marketing, we need advertisements, we need commercials, right? We need all of that. And at the end of the day, if we're not competing with that market, then what is even the purpose of the podcast? This is to generate income, bring value, but also, right, highlight the lack of information being provided from those other platforms and the fuckery that's being provided on there. Whereas over here, right, we actually we could talk real shit, but we can also bring value, right? I'm not saying that they're not bringing value over there. I'm saying their platform is hip hop based. It is based on bringing on people that are popular in the culture that are promoting degeneracy and destruction. I don't care if you got millions of dollars as a rapper. That's label money. You took a loan, bro. You're not even rich. You are indebted. You're a slave. And unless you really independent and was getting money, bro, you work for them people. You can't even voice your own opinion without getting blackballed to silence.
I will agree.
He still missed the point. He still missed my point.
I mean, as far as what he said about if you want to keep up with people, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm his generation, so I kind of understand where he's coming from, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's I get where y'all coming from as the OGs too, but we are in a time of the pay and play. Like, seriously, like, all right, for instance, to even get on $1 million worth of game, that is a non-profit business. And first of all, what people don't know, and they still charge, they getting subscribers, they get paid through a whole bunch of other shit. But the fact that I got to get on there, it ain't just about, oh, you talking that shit, you changing the culture. You gotta literally pay these niggas at least 16 to 20,000 just to get on their show. So what I'm saying is, the relationship we build, is it really authentic, or are you only fucking with me because I'm able to pay your price to get on your shit, to talk my shit? Yes, you giving me the volume, the followers. I got new people that's gonna come in and get money. But if I gotta pay to play,
it's not all.
It's not authentic. Then
it ain't about building.
Nah,
it ain't about, okay, we got a platform, we got an audience. Now we got what we need to stack on top of this. Let's get in order. Let's put the bro. All y'all people like Chris and Jay in the world, bro. And you mean to tell me, right? In a variety, I'm using these two brothers as an example because they're a little older and they're stable and well versed in what they do. Right? You mean to tell me the NFL players and the NBA players and the entertainers ain't like, you know what, bro? We coming into all of this money. We don't know what to tap in with these kings right here. Let me go holler at my brethren.
But you see what I'm saying?
Nah, do you know what they do, bro? I'm finna go tap in with Lockenheimer. And Schmothwam and all tips, them people. That's who they go tap in with. The designated persons that have to the financiers, the money managers of the world. That's who they go tap in with, right? So I don't want to hear about, bro. This shit is all pay to play. It's all pay to play.
I mean, in this, I will agree in this time, and I'm going to add some more because I'm gonna say this. For instance, when I started in this credit game, I started with a lot of individuals. A lot of people fell off. A lot of people went up. A lot of people that went up, I know for a motherfucking fact, because these niggas is in my DM hitting me up talking about Yoda. We see your content, we love it, but we think you should be way further than where you are. So how about you do this? How about you get a funding loan of 10,000, 20,000 and just pay us the 20 to 10,000 and we're gonna boost your following. You don't think half these niggas that out of nowhere just blasted off, you ain't paid to play somewhere along the way, because everybody ain't organic and everything ain't authentic. So this is what I mean by y'all gonna say what y'all gonna say, but I've seen it. Niggas is paying for shit right now.
And see, Lewis, go. I know you're trying to go. I just want to say this, and I'll be quick. Now, Jay, if what you're saying is building small to get big is us right here working cohesively,
Yeah,
of course.
of
But
course.
but guess what though? Like I said,
Success
if
like
we work cohesively, we're gonna go get a bag. And in 5 years of cohesive working, we'll probably collectively have 10 to 15 million. That's realistic, if not more. Guess what'll happen? They'll listen to us. Why? Because you look like you got 10 to 15.
Exactly.
You are pulling up in all European forums. Everything you got on is designer. It don't even got to be loud designer. It can just be clean, simple, basic designer. Your house look nice. Your life look like. What's your life look like? It look enjoyable. I want to listen to you. You don't.
What's your life like?
What's your life like? You don't just look like somebody on here preaching some shit to me, but you're not really in the predicament. And that's what I'm saying. Like at my level, at Credit Yoda level, at C. Lewis level, at all of our level, we all bring value to the internet space, and we all generate clientele leads organically from our marketing, right? Because right now, our knowledge and our expertise is serving us to the degree to where we can all earn 6 figures or more. But if we want to be millionaires, I'm not talking about having access to $1 million in credit. I'm talking about, you feel me, having a liquid dollars. $1 million liquid cash. That's what I'm talking about. When you got $1 million liquid in cash, your life, you can do a lot of different things. Your life change, bro. You don't even got to, especially when you know what we know on the screen, especially me, Chris, and Yoda, bro. You don't even got to destroy none of that principle. You can retain all of that principle, leverage against it, and don't even spend that principle. Use that as an asset to go acquire other funding, right? You got $1 million in cash is different, bro. Now you have enough financial power to be able to get people to listen to you, at least on a mass scale, right? Or you go viral. You get lucky. You one of the people that just pop. You got something that hit, boom. But it's not just like in general, bro. You gotta
think about this too. When you do get up and you do get on, and you is one of them hot commodities on, as far as we saying social media. Listen, there's so many social media platforms now. Yeah, you get up and you start talking your talk. It better be what these platforms want you talking about. Cause go ahead and try to talk about some shit. This shit, everything we talk about, it's just like it all revolves around the heart of the culture. Like this shit is, it's like in my opinion, it's like a maze, right? You get to one section of the maze, you think you got out. Now you're in another whole new section. You got to figure this shit out. It's like every time we figure this shit out, it's some new shit we got to figure out. And I don't believe no other culture has gone through this shit. Like this shit was designed to make it hard for us, in my opinion. I mean, it is harder for us. We've had to come from so many changes, so many triumphs, so much shit we gotta overcome just to get success for our culture of people. I ain't speaking about nobody else. Everybody had to go through some shit, but our people, even like, let's look at this finance lane right now. The finance lane has changed from 2019 to 2022 drastically. This shit is not the same at all.
Oh yeah, it's different.
At all. And as soon as the minority figured this shit out, you started seeing bank requirements change. getting funding has changed. How to get your credit fixed has changed. They ain't even talking about the new FICOs and the Vantage scores that's out right now. It's a whole nother conversation, but everything has changed. Every time the minority, okay, we figured out, we in the door, baby, we back. It was more minority millionaires than ever in 2019. And ever.
Right.
They don't want that shit. And you fucking the algorithm up right now because this shit was built to be a certain way. Okay, so now these niggas is coming up. We gotta figure that we gotta change this shit up again. We gotta change this shit up again.
That's what I'm saying. See, y'all you just stepped in 2019. It's been like that every 4 or 5 years. It does the same thing. I've been in this since 08. It's the same thing. It has nothing to do with minority. It don't have nothing to do with minority. It's the game in itself. And this is what I'm saying. See, you mentally already telling yourself the only reason this changes is because of us. No,
because it's something that's artificial.
This been every 5 to 10 years. This same cycle happens. It's not. This ain't nothing new. This just didn't happen.
Big fact, though.
This ain't just didn't happen just because all of a sudden it's a bunch of black people talking about funding and Navy Federal and all that. That ain't got nothing.
No, I'm not saying it because of that. I'm just saying mine as anytime minorities start coming up.
How many
I'm agreeing with. In a sense, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying. I'm like,
if it wasn't for PPP and EID, how many minorities you think would have came up in the last?
I mean, it wouldn't be none of this shit right now.
Exactly.
I mean, you know that, but I'm just saying. I'm saying from a standpoint of, it's always been like this for us. Yeah.
Yeah, but minority.
I used the wrong. I should never use that term.
But you knowing what that actually means, that's a totally inappropriate word.
Exactly.
Not offensive, just inapplicable, right?
Just saying, like, it changes every 5 to 10 years, and then
I'm agreeing with both of y'all. I agree with Yoda, right? I agree with Jay, right? That we wake up on a daily basis placing way too much weight on a set of racial tensions that probably don't exist to the degree that we think they do, but we make them the highlights of reality. So we put a lot of energy and focus on shit that don't really exist to the degree that we think it does. Meanwhile, that distracts us from really learning the game that's actually being played and why we're losing it, right? Which is not because of our blackness or because of our indigenousness or because of our Americanness or because of our Africanness. It's not because of that. And it's because it's a system. And getting rich, getting wealthy, being powerful, it all takes order, structure. It all takes procedure, following a certain set of rules. You can't go against the game and think that the game is going to reward you. No, the game is going to sit you down because you keep going against the game, right? And so I agree with you, bro. I agree that just on your whole premise, bro, that if we just started focusing on small effective changes, we would see bigger outcomes rather than focusing on the super big hyper sensationalized target that may not even actually be the right target, but because we're being told listen and focus on that, we're not even actually taking all of the baby steps to just keep building at a consistent gradual pace, right? We rather actually kind of just stagnate.
See, here's what I'm trying to nail. Here's what I'm trying to hit home for y'all that you're really, really missing, because every even Nate got his perspective on how he see it and how he deal with what he see. You have yours, Rich have his, and C. Lewis have his. So when I'm trying to get y'all to, when I say about the small footprint and that moving in silence and executing in silence, and that's going to turn into noise later on, is this platform here in itself. Like I said, when I executed this 3 weeks ago, and you pushing, you see the traffic. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but you see the traffic that been coming to it. And I've been telling Deontay this before I told y'all about this, months before. Like, bro, this is man, how you feel about this? What you think about starting this and all these little things? Chris tell you the same thing. I'm in individual conversation and group conversations. What you're gonna see in the next 30 to 60 days, you're gonna see that transformation. You're gonna see it, because when the channel becomes where it's monetizing now and it start producing income, That's just one channel. As you pivot out from that and you start creating other channels, I mean, and other streams from that, you're gonna see it get bigger. But it's all happening as a collective. And once you start seeing it, then your mentality on how you look at it is gonna change.
No, I love it. I love the schematics.
But tech though, at that same time, everybody up here got a specialty in what they do, whether that's insurance, whether that's fixing credit, whether that's manufacturing spending, whether that's business funding, all that together. So when I asked that question earlier, how many people does it take to buy one property? Everybody said one person. But what if I took 5 people with the same strength as that one person?
Yeah, you could buy 10 times the amount of properties.
Or one bigger property.
Yeah, or much bigger property. Because
Pete, now you acquire that one bigger property, right?
Build on it.
Everybody, but let's say it's a multifamily, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that multifamily is another income stream.
Right.
Now, when you in these groups like the one I started situation and all that, and they see that this is what was done, you become the example.
But exactly.
So listen, now that you're the example of what can be done, and it can be replicated and people can actually see it. I ain't talking about it being 1 million people seeing it. I'm talking about 40 people see it,
20, 30 people.
20 people see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now this 5 turns into 25.
No, yeah, indeed. Powerful. No, yeah, I don't disagree. But
that didn't cost no marketing. That didn't cost none of that. That didn't cost to pay to play. It just took a collaboration.
So you know who you like. So kind of what, and maybe it's different, but I'm thinking about Jay Morrison, Tony the Closer, kind of similar to what they did. Right now, they did market, they did sell products and courses to get their popularity, but they were able to do that because people seen a proof of concept. They seen them doing it and figured, oh, okay, if he's doing it and it's just this simple, right? Having my documents, understanding how to negotiate with sellers, with buyers, acting as the middleman, whether I'm doing wholesale, whatever. Okay, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy the course. That money from the course propelled him upward, right, to where now he can go live and look like success. But it's just I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not talking about that. See, I'm not even talking about that element of it. I understand
no. You talking about real pure impact. You talking about
what they doing. A lot of that shit is fluff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is fluff. A lot of that shit is fluff. They selling shit that where I talk to the same people that do that same thing that's unpaid for them courses, and they still lost and stuck where they at.
Oh yeah, no, listen, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to replicate none of that. If I wanted to replicate that, I could have been done that.
Right, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they were able to do that successfully because the people care about marketing, whether it's fluff or not. Yoda, how many?
I do believe I will say this just to agree with on OG side. I see where you're coming from now because I'm gonna use myself as an example. So when the whole situation with me getting shadow banned and blocked off of Instagram and all that shit, and then I really started thinking, damn, I might have to pay to play this shit, man. But then I started like other platforms. I just started my YouTube a couple weeks ago now. 80,000 subscribers. I mean, 80 subscribers ain't shit to that, but I just started and I'm at 80 already. So I get what he's saying as far as sometimes it's going to be a slow start. You know what I mean? But if you eventually that shit's going to, like right now, I've seen the traffic that the last video did. So when we post this one, it's going to be this is going to pull weight. So I see what he's saying. And then I do see from your point where it's like, I hear that, but in the same sense, it's like paying for marketing does help.
Everybody pays for marketing.
Everybody does.
Everything on TV.
I feel like there's levels to paying for marketing too.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the objective? See, it's
exactly like what type of where are you trying to go with this?
It's a difference.
So all I'm saying,
if you want to be an Instagram celebrity where you got millions of followers and you walking around, lifestyle marketing for the purpose of getting all these leads, and 95% of those leads still ain't spending no money with you, or whatever the case may be, by all means, do your thing. If that's the image that you feel, but if
I don't want to look like money. I want to have the money.
During the conversations that we done had behind closed doors, when you telling me the type of individual that you want to close on in the next year, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm cool off that. That ain't what you. Yeah, that ain't my. That ain't my goal.
I gotta use that. Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm a smooth operator. I like to be behind.
My man said,
right. So that's what I'm saying. So if you try to attach
personal up close relationships, pause.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
so quality. What's that? Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Do you think you can get ahead in today's time without the propaganda bullshit?
Well, real quick, the conversation, right, digressed into where we're at right now. Not that the digression was bad, right? But we were originally really talking about, right, the impact of culture, right, which is a collective, right? This is, I don't care if you in Baltimore, I don't care if you in Detroit, Oakland, Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying, the Bronx, Brooklyn, any of them, I don't care where you at, right? Houston, Dallas, wherever. The culture is, although it has its variations, it also has its similarities. And the same problems that they got over there where C. Lewis is from, they got over there in Philly where Nathan is from. They got over there in Oakland where I'm from. They got over there in Sacramento where Chris at, but Cleveland where he from. They got in Los Angeles where you from, right? Ultimately, if we're talking about making an impact at that level, like Earn Your Leisure, right? This podcast could be better, more authentic, genuine, more natural, full of information, right? That is more translatable to real life actionable items. But because we won't have the marketing that they do, we won't have the audience or the attention that they do. That's all I'm saying. So it's levels.
I get what you're saying, but and the point that you still missing is I'm not comparing.
I'm not missing
that. Yes, you are, because I'm not. What I'm talking about don't even compare to what they doing.
No, I understand that, bro. So what I'm saying,
but you keep referencing these individuals.
I'm gonna put it this way. I'll put it.
You referencing Jay Moore. You referencing all of these.
No. Don't do me like that. See, that's that right there.
You said it. I didn't say it.
Hey, Chris, go ahead and laugh again.
I think the reason why Earn Your Leisure is where Earn Your Leisure is at where it's at now.
I'm just using
is because of the fact, and I know this for facts. I know this for facts. They paid again. This is another. They paid motherfuckers to get on shows to be able to get their brand out there to talk. So the whole pay to play part, they did at some point in time. I don't know when they did it, but they did do that shit.
So look,
because everybody that's around that $1 million worth of game shit, you notice all of them went through the same. They all got on the same podcast. Circle of CEOs went through the same shit. Earn Your Leisure, same shit. Him 500 went on there by himself. The same podcast. Everybody, they all do the same shit. So it is some paying to play going on here. And I mean, if that's what you feel like you need, you got to pay every single.
Let me ask you a question though, right? Because when you because we all here, right? Mm-hmm. We all visionaries, right? But we all got different methodologies or concepts in mind about how to bring about the things that we envision. So my thing is this: I right now have no concern about my ability to individually be successful financially, right? That's not a concern for me, right? I am confident that with or without the assistance of and this is all respectfully, the people on the panel, not that I don't want the help and the assistance and the uplifting, but we all, I think, are go-getters here. So we all gonna go get it one way or another. What we want, we'll get, right? So that's not a concern. So when we come together, it's to build, it's to take what individual skill sets that we have, right? Plus maybe untapped skill sets that we don't recognize that we do have. And when we unify with each other, we we maximize each other's potential and put each other in collectively in the best position, right? What I'm saying is ultimately individual success at some point in time, it becomes no longer satisfying, right? I haven't reached that point in life yet, right? Financially, there's other things in life where you get so good in something, right? Like I can even give a simple example. How many of y'all played a video game and when you was new, you wanted to play it all the time because you hadn't mastered it yet, but once you mastered the game, it was boring. You didn't really want to play it no more, right?
Thanks.
But if you could show somebody else how to play that game, or they didn't play it, and now you playing 2-player, it becomes entertaining again because now you teaching, now you sharing skill sets, now you showing somebody else how to do what it is that you do. Maybe a bad analogy, whatever though, it's the first one that came to mind. Here's my thought process, right? Ultimately, it's not that I want to do what Earn Your Leisure is doing, but I do want to have the audience that they have. Right? Because ultimately, if we want to change culture, anybody, and I'm not saying this is Earn Your Leisure, but anybody that is currently detrimental to the culture, I'm not saying I believe in cancel culture or silence, and they got their right to speech, right? But we can't let them be the platform that has the minds of the people if what they're feeding the people is not making the people better, right? So
Absolutely.
in order to be able to compete at that level, like sure, we can go get 20 or 30 people to understand the power of operating in the private, reducing tax exposure, or maybe taking it to a whole nother level, which those that know, right? We could talk about forming compounds, collective land ownership, buying multifamily complexes, getting tons of revenue coming in, assets that allow us to go leverage against them. We know all of that, right? It's a lot of us that know it, and we still aren't really effectively doing it. You know why? Because everybody is cloud chasing. Because at the end of the day, I could go do something only so well, but my scalability is limited unless I go pay to play to get somebody else to support me. I mean, that's just the reality that I witness. I could be wrong, right? But I see that at the end of the day, your impact, the collective that you can build, how many people you can reach, how many people will be willing to listen to the knowledge that you have that's life-changing is based on how much money you can spend in most cases. There are exceptions to the rule though. But I feel you.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I mean, I'm just listening at this moment. So what I was gonna say earlier was, and this fire alarm is freaking killing me, and I be talking bad about people. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, y'all got enough money.
Why you do Chris like that earlier, bro?
I ain't gonna lie to you. After show, we talking about people when they fire alarm be going. But anyway, so no, but I think Deontay has a point in terms of where he sees the impact being done. And I can't even necessarily say that even with the large platforms that you've seen that people and for C. Lewis and Nate, for like the people y'all have seen that have paid to play. Every trend, are they even doing the impact that we're talking about? The people that
and see when you say it like that, that's where I was trying to get understanding, because it's like I feel like
but see,
Unc is trying to his trajectory may be different than what Earn Your Leisure is, and that's what he's been trying to say as well. And I was listening to that part where it was like Earn Your Leisure. If you, I will say this as far as their message, I feel like when they started, they were one way, but because they have this notoriety now and they have this, they got celebrities. You know, they're. I'm not gonna say they message is different. They still speaking about financial literacy and all that good stuff or whatever, but they have I would say a different calling now because they're in a different group of people. They're around a different group of people. So I just think,
elevation requires separation.
Right. So I think Unc's way is, and maybe I'm saying it wrong, but listen, you can get there with the slow grind as well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you stand on your principles, you do what you got to do, you be consistent. Why won't it work?
The slow grind keep you more pure.
Exactly. But if you want to get there quick, see now, and this is what I wanted to say too. Like, if you don't got no morals, no principles, you don't give a fuck about ownership, you trying to get that bag, whatever you're gonna pay to play, you're gonna sign some things, you're gonna do. But when you really want this and you authentic and you're pure and you're trying to relay the message, you're gonna it's gonna take you. I say this all the time.
Yeah, you want to control your intellectual property.
It's gonna take you a little bit longer to get to the top when you're doing this shit on your own terms against somebody who's was doing it on their own terms and they're getting notoriety now, and the people, the big wigs, is calling. So now it's about, do I want to give this up to go get the big bag?
So look,
do I want to stay authentic?
But if you, truth be told, like, this is how everybody else get ahead off of our ignorance. You know what I mean? Exactly. Us being ignorant to the fact that we're together, we're better together.
Then
we'll get a lot more done as a unit. You know what I'm saying? We'll get a lot more done if we paced ourselves and be strategic about shit. But we come from, speaking for the majority of us, bro, we come from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, bro. So a lot of us don't even know what to do with money. Motherfucker get 100 bands and think they got a lot of bread. But they're gonna spend that shit instantly on what? Shit that gives them gratification. You know what I mean? They're gonna instantly spend that shit.
Hold on, come on. Let me
that says, look at me.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to feel like I'm saying 100K ain't nothing, because when you hit that first 100K, boy, you gonna feel good about yourself.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, shit, 20 bands is a lot to some people. Shit, Curtis Jackson's son was tripping when he said he couldn't survive off $6,700 a month. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money to some people.
I would. Hey, if somebody, I wouldn't take it, but I mean,
do you think that's because of his mother, or is that because of his own mindset and his thinking?
Told me, hey, bro, you can have $6,700 a month just to shit.
But listen, do you think that's because?
Let me make my point first. What I'm saying is, like, we've been financially, like, exploited. Like, that's what I want to. That's what I'm going to say. Like, we've been like control. America has been getting real rich off of our ignorance. You know what I mean? They've been getting
everybody's ignorance.
You feel me? Been getting real wealthy off of us not understanding. Like, shit, all we got to do is, you feel me? Do some things and we could work. But manipulating systems, manipulating things to, you know what I'm saying, to not be as simple as it is. It just seemed like it's rocket science, but you'll accept anything when you don't know that there's more available to you, though. You know what I'm saying? You really would accept damn near anything if you don't know nothing.
I want to just touch on what C. Lewis said about that whole situation, because that is a part of the culture as well. Yeah. When you have a son who has a successful father, and all the father asks for respect and loyalty. And I don't think, I mean, my dad went through this where with my mother, when they split up, and it was like it was me and my little brother, and I'm my father's son. I didn't understand what that meant neither until I got older. Like, I look just like my father. I'm my dad's twin. My baby brother is my mother's, is his mother's twin, right? So my dad is the hard working hustler, grinder, go get it. Ain't nobody finna get you out of nothing, figure it out type of father. But he gave me structure. He gave me principles, morals. You know what I'm saying? My mom is more so I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna do it how I want to. And as long as I got the assistance around, I'm gonna be fine. And so my brother has the more of, my brother's never worked a 9-to-5 in his life. He's worked a job before, but he ain't had to go through half the shit I had to go through. You know what I mean? And he's a mama's boy. He's he is spoiled to a sense. I'm not gonna say that boy don't work. He do put in work, but he is spoiled from a sense. And I do believe if he did live with my dad instead of picking my mom to live with, because of course you know how that goes when your mom and dad break up. You go with the easygoing parent, you know, because 9 times out of 10, the father is more of the stern. He's going to put that sternness on you. He's going to make sure you got the thing. But 9 times out of 10, some time the kid go with the mother, and the mother's going to be a little bit more easygoing and let you do what you want to do, and there's no real structure. So what happens is that you have a child that is under his mother's teaching, and it was a situation in my household where my dad gave me a car, and my mom was, in a sense, putting us against each other. Like, well, why you ain't get this one? He, first of all, he wasn't even nowhere of age to have a car, but that whole mindset of, well, you got him this, and at the time I was older, I'm coming out the crib, I need a car, you know what I'm saying? But then you dealing with it, like I said it earlier, I could survive off of $6,700. Most people don't even make $6,700 a week or bi-weekly or monthly at a 9 to 5.
Listen, brother, you got people that have been in the military 20 years.
They ain't
served
seen
20 years of their 25 years, and they only making $3,500.
Right. So when you say
$6,700, no disrespect, shout out to everybody out there that served, that did their thing.
But when somebody
in all
says
actuality, bro, like you got people that served in the military that
gave
gave
survived
off
a
a lot of their time that don't make that much money.
And so my thing is, when you hear somebody say that $6,700 a month ain't enough, that's equivalent. If he's doing that, do that $6,700 times 12 months in a year, that's $81,000. Man, that's somebody's salary at a 9 to 5. So you telling me, and I get you live in New York and the rates is more in this, bro. You're 24 years old and you're talking about your dad don't do nothing. You 24, my nigga. My dad wasn't doing shit for me at no 24 years old. I was working a job. I was taking care of myself. Right. If my dad wanted to do something nice, I accepted it. But my dad wasn't calling me. He's like, yeah, son, I'm gonna get you clothes. I'm gonna get you shoes. I'm gonna get this. No.
Yeah, you know,
it ain't your dad's job to fucking clothe you no more, my dude. You 24 years old. You a grown ass man.
So let me give a tangible example, cause Jay gonna feel me before the night is over. Paul, he gonna feel where I'm coming from before the night is over. You
right
me?
Now.
Hey, so listen. Question. Take me right now. Me, you know me. Take me right now, who I am today, and everything you know about me, and this particular broadcast, and just run it back. Reflect on everything we've talked about today and how I've talked. Right now, if I have $1 million cash, and my social media presence looks very different than what it is right now. I mean, European cars. I got millions. I fit the archetype of what they want to see in order to listen to me. Are they going to care that I'm saying nigga and cussing and being as truthful and forward as I am on this live right now if I'm in that financial position?
No, they're not gonna care.
Nah, they're not gonna give two fucks.
But if they listen to me right now and I don't meet that criteria, what are they gonna say?
It depends on who it is.
Go ahead, Chris.
I just wanted to say, man, that like,
come on, like, keep it 100, man. Don't get on here.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, look, check this out. Jay is gonna probably be one of the most wealthiest, wearing his same kind of tennis shoes that he wear today, wearing no jewelry. He might get some of them diamonds from Africa, but he might not be wearing them before he sell them.
He better not wear them real quick.
But I'm about to tell you the cold piece is. The cold piece about it is the people that we see on these larger platforms that
you see what they wear.
I'm about to tell y'all what's so cold about it is. These are the same people that's gonna be in his inbox. Trust me.
Can I ask y'all a question though?
Bro, let me ask you something. You know this. Listen, people with money aren't finding.
Can I ask y'all something?
Yeah.
Have you ever got one of these gurus that talk this fly shit on this internet like they the biggest boss, Rick Ross, and they tap into you? You don't even have as many followers as these people. You don't even have a reach like them. They got the biggest reach in the world, mind you. You looking at their Instagram every single day, like, damn, they really doing it. For them to tap into you, talking about some, hey, bro, you think you're gonna be able to assist me with my credit? Bro, you talking big credit shit all day, every day. You the big guru. You the one everybody
What are you talking about?
My man's, man. He know what
And then that's another thing. Like bro Rich said, Uncle Jay is going to be one of the most successful people in this motherfucker, right? And he don't gotta show his money. He ain't gotta wear his money. He could look like a. Don't take no offense to this. I don't think you know average Joe, but I'm just saying he dressed like a. But a real wealthy person going to ask you, why you wearing your shit? Why is you showing your wealth? Why are you wearing your wealth?
Yeah, but you know what though? See, I think we got to push.
And I'm not saying you got to live that way. I'm not saying that's how you got to do it. I'm just saying
because it's
can be deceiving.
It's in our spirit, bro.
I mean, you know who said that to us? What MC told us. We come from kings and queens like us.
And listen, no, I'm
bro had me dying laughing.
Hey, I'm
the credit guru.
Look, he got on
credit
a black
guru
hoodie.
tapping in your DM talking about, can you help me, nigga?
I got on a black hoodie with white words. We keeping it simple, right? This Michael Kors, this ain't even expensive. This $90.
But people will still think you ain't got it like that because you got Michael Kors on.
Shit, I like.
See, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, think about this.
I said we got the Letterman. You know, it's hard to find sweaters that got Letterman. You feel me? Black.
I'm just saying the perception of a person's eye when they glance at you might, because I don't. Okay, you talk all this.
Yeah, they don't perceive.
Why you don't got this on them? Why you don't wear this? And it's like I gotta. So in order for you,
exactly.
You telling me, let's say I'm worth $1 billion, and you telling me because I'm brown melanated, right? And I'm a billionaire. Right. In our culture, as soon as we get a couple of dollars, what we go do? We go get some foreign clothes, some nice jewels. The car match what we got, right? Right. But if you don't do that in our culture, they say you ain't got nothing.
Oh yeah,
they say you broke because you don't go wear Gucci and the Louis, and you don't go get the chains and the diamonds in your shit, or you don't got this. So you ain't, how you talk like that, but you ain't got this, and because you're not showing. You notice most of these influencers, as soon as they get a couple dollars, what they first go do? I gotta go get the chain. So when I get on live, you think it's, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, I done been in mentorships where these motherfuckers will tell you, go get the chain and you go throw this on and you go wear this so you can. I'm dead serious. I some of the biggest mentors you was saying.
They trying to be social media stars, bro. That's what it is, bro.
Go get the car. You gotta get the car to match.
Time out. Look, time out right there. Time out. So at the beginning, I made a reference, and in the reference, I said, you know what I mean, what are you doing it for? You know what I'm saying? Are you doing it when I said about leaving stuff behind when you come with you? And I said, I gave an example when you in the hood and the killer go take a life and they pump him up and give him a nickname and they tell him, nigga, you know, he the man and he all this so stuff, which enforces the mentality of, I got that from doing that, I need to go do it again. So it's the same. It's the same thing you speaking of. You know what I'm saying? They telling you ain't shit, even though you know you financially well off. But since you ain't flossing it, they tell you ain't got shit. So you go get shit as soon as you able to get some money because you want validation. You want them to say, "Oh, you the man because you got this car. You the man because you got that car." And you get and what happens is you get lost in that salt.
What J. Cole say?
Because your purpose when you start out, what was your purpose when you started out? When you said I want to go down this path to be a credit repair specialist and master my craft. I want to help people fix their credit. You be on here every night and your feelings damn near passionate about people getting their credit and shit together. So that's if you say that's your purpose, how you gonna let somebody else tell you that you gotta have on XYZ?
I'm gonna tell you,
influential in your purpose.
I know you've been in this game longer than me, so you probably know this brother name. You probably know this. Well, you probably heard of this name. I ain't gonna say the name, but you've heard of this name. So I took a mentorship before I knew some of the laws and shit. I took a mentorship with a brother. He from Philly. I got in the mentorship, and I wasn't learning, right? I wasn't learning nothing. So I got my money back and I left. Right. And you know, this brother went on the internet, bro. He was on the Credit Repair Cloud. He was on the Daniel Rosen was on stage with this nigga. Huh?
On the Facebook?
Yo, he was on the credit. He's one of the people on the pictures. He's one of the people on the so listen, long story short, I got my money back because I took the mentorship. And in the mentorship, you wasn't teaching me shit. I couldn't even get in touch with you. So I got my money back, right? So you made 3, you said in the mentorship, you made 3 something mil.
Oh, you done already gave it away with that.
Look. You said you made 3 mil in the mentorship. You done made, you're a millionaire. So if somebody asks for their $2,400 back, you shouldn't be trying to go on the internet to blackball me and talk down on me and this and that. And I still got the messages and all that shit in my phone. And this nigga said I was wearing crystals, you know what I mean? Because on some spirituality shit. You know, this nigga sent me back a message talking about something. Look at you with your broke ass. You wearing your keychains around your neck. Nigga, first of all, they crystals. And second of all, this is what I'm saying right now. If I don't got this on, you gonna say I don't got nothing. Okay? If I don't wear this, you gonna say I don't got nothing because I don't want to throw on. And it's funny because Uncle Jay just said niggas be going to get the chains and shit. You notice most rappers, they come into the game like Cole, for instance. He was the chain wearer and all that. And then Cole had to wake up like, I don't need this shit. So he stopped wearing jewelry. He started growing the dreads. He started you know what I'm saying? And people, when he started doing it, I remember niggas was like, Cole, what the hell?
But
Cole, what the hell?
Shout out to the nieces and nephews though, right? Because ultimately what this whole conversation is highlighting, right, is the decision of either playing in the matrix or trying to detach from it. That's really what it's highlighting, bro. There's a
thing, like everything even with the things he just said, right? Like I want you to like go back and watch this and reflect on who throughout this thing, who you reflected on when you was ready to give an example of a situation. Because remember I said the whole thing was when you leaving a culture and you start evolving, what you leave behind and what you take
leave, what you want to keep,
what you want to take with you, right? And in every example you gave in a person out of culture that was a rapper, entertainer, influencer. You didn't compare that to nobody else. And before Deontay started talking last, I didn't get it out, but I asked y'all, did y'all know who Byron Allen was?
Yeah, I know who that is.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Nah.
No.
Byron Allen is
the brother that created BET and sold BET.
Right? No, that's Rob Johnson.
Nah, that's Rob Johnson. The Byron Allen, he's in that lane though, like media.
Oh, so here's your homework. Yep, he's in the media lane. Go look up
Byron Allen, and he cold. He cold.
Oh yeah. I do know who Byron Allen is. The young
bald head dude.
Is he suing Comcast? Is that the one
that's him?
Comcast?
That's him.
Yeah, I know who Byron Allen is.
That's him.
Yeah, he's a boss.
Yeah. Go look up the brother, man. Go do some homework. Look up the brother.
Yeah,
look what he worth, and look what he worth.
But see that before, because I know we probably
he heavy.
So I don't want my perspective to, you know what I'm saying, to be mischaracterized as such, right?
No, I ain't right mischaracterized. I'm just saying, but it's an example because by default. By default, what I'm saying is we program like that because
no, but I'm not programmed like that. See, that's what I'm saying. That's a mischaracterization because you are making it seem like I brought those people up like they're my examples. No, I was speaking to culture. They are the examples.
No, we as a people.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's
we as a people.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
The majority of black people don't know who Byron Allen is, and they're not interested in Byron Allen because Byron Allen, while extremely successful, right? How much of his money do you think is generated from the black community?
What you mean? Why you think it's not? Most of his radio stations that he have is black-owned radio stations that you just never heard of.
Black owned, but who are the consumers of this? Is it black people?
Yeah,
probably black. It says
hella black people.
It says his net worth is $500 million.
Yeah, he like that.
What networks do he own?
This nigga
fuck you up now. See, this is why I say, this is a prime example. This is a prime example of the culture. See, this is a prime example. This is a prime example.
Hold on, look at this. That's his wife, bro.
Oh,
I don't give a shit. What they gotta do with anything?
I'm playing with me right now, man.
What they gotta do? What does that gotta do with anything? These NBA players got the same.
Can I ask y'all a question? Let me ask y'all a question.
What they gotta do with anything?
I got you.
Since we on that topic, let me ask you a question. Does it matter if a
media executive,
if a brown melanated king is successful and they got a lot of money? But then you see a situation like he just pulled the phone up and he flashed what he flashed. Is that does that take away from anybody?
No,
I don't, because you gotta watch how you say things. So I'm trying to say this.
I already know where you're going.
But what I'm saying is, just to the audience that will be watching this, is like, what I'm saying is, it seems like in our culture, it's a problem when somebody is successful and they choose to step out of that. I'm not saying that's what Wealth Mogul's saying. I'm just saying it just seemed like, in our culture, it seemed like it's a problem with people when you don't see us with us or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
In certain situations, certain circles, it is. But for me, I could care less because I'm not sleeping laying next to neither one of them.
Exactly.
That's that man business. But that don't take away from what that man has done.
Exactly. As a melanated
man.
But to brown melanated kings and queens from being conditioned, that's what some might say. That's crazy.
Well, listen, I don't care who he lays with either, but I do want to highlight the fact that he is not popular amongst Black people. Meaning, some Black people know who he is, but young, especially Generation Z and young millennials, we're not familiar with Byron Allen. We're familiar with the plethora of people that we're familiar with are either going to be artists, entertainers, or musicians or athletes. That's what they prop up. We only got about 6 or 7 Black African American billionaires, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't even think all of them are so-called African American, right? But bro, we are not being marketed and shown. They're not being put on display. Successful entrepreneur Black men and Black women that they refuse to show us that.
So the point that I'm making is you bringing that along with you from culture, that you only know these individuals, these athletes.
Don't bring it along with me.
You said in culture. You just said it in culture. No, don't start be like, no, not me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in culture.
I'm saying in culture.
In culture.
Yes.
In culture, the only people that you see that's put up on a pedestal for you to admire
are athletes, entertainers, and musicians.
And musicians.
I mean, indeed.
Now,
and every blue moon, they'll give us a politician. They'll give us a somebody in the realm of academia. They typically stay away from giving us, especially self-employed, self-made millionaires that are Black. They're not. They're not showing that. Just like the Black man, I can't remember his name, and he owns an oil company. He's 100
right.
plus.
So the mindset that I'm trying to make you get is those individuals compared to other individuals in other spaces that are far outpacing those individuals that you don't get to see.
Right.
That you're not even that they're not even hitting the conversation tonight.
And they don't want to.
But it ain't about what they don't want. I'm talking about as an individual that can think free and get up every day and do something different every freaking day, because that's what we said when we talk about transitioning from where we come from to where we elevating to, in which we have every day that we can get up, learn something new, do something different, all of that.
So here's the question.
And I'm saying there's other examples of people when I say that's in smaller circles that's outpacing and way more effective in their space in society.
They're not focused on the collective, though.
Says who? If you don't even know who they are, how can you say they're not focused on the collective?
So let's use Byron Allen for an example. And I can't say what he is and what he ain't focused on. His methodology is his methodology. He's a 500 million net worth man. So there's nothing that can be said about him in terms of his financial prowess or his ability to be a master businessman. But what I'm saying is, earn your leisure. I'm gonna contrast the two. For example, earn your leisure is intentional, about attracting a Black audience, not limited to, but focused on, and bringing financial empowerment and literacy to Black people. Byron Allen has way more money, not even in the same conversation of money is Earn Your Leisure, and more Black people would know who Earn Your Leisure is right now, probably, especially depending on demographic and age range, right? Then people would know Byron Allen. But yet Byron Allen has the financial resources necessary to where if he wanted to, he can get his name about, he could run for president with that type of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it would lead me to believe, not that he doesn't care about Black people as a collective, but he probably doesn't think that trying to solve Black problems is something he should focus on. He should just
There you go.
Do you know why he's suing Comcast? Do you know why he's suing Comcast and why he won the other case when he sued the other? You know why?
I'm slightly familiar. I've heard that. I knew him because of the Comcast, because I've worked for Comcast previously.
So his lawsuits were predicated around race. His lawsuits were predicated around race, about how they don't let Black people into those spaces to be able to be effective in media and everything else. That's what his whole case was about.
Mm-hmm. Facts. So, and this is why I say, I'm not saying that he doesn't care about Black people. I'm just saying his methodology, his approach is different, right? Because he's more covert than overt. And that's what you've talked about. But
show me a CIA agent.
I can't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's covert. So the point I'm making is, when you do the contract,
our people are not receptive to covert behavior.
But listen though, what I'm telling you is, he got. If I would have never said his name or brought him up, he's an afterthought, right?
He's not even a thought.
Right. He's not even a thought, right? So at any given time, with the power of 500 million, he can inflict change by the snap of his finger when he decides behind the scenes.
Well, what do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean inflict change? I mean,
because he's fighting to control enough media where he could create. When he get to a certain point and he want to change what he owned in the media and what can be played and what can be thing, he can control that, because that's what he owned.
Right. So he's fighting a long-term battle. He's looking.
It's a long-term battle, but he's doing it behind the scenes. Now, even though EYO may have all of the people following him, because culture in this age is big on celebrityism and everything else, and they interview all of the rappers and this, that, and the third. So so people they follow.
So why not play it like that?
Okay, but listen, even though they are following, because of the culture, rapper, hip hop, whatever around that make them follow, right? Right. At the end of the day, the people that follow, how many of those people are actually translating that outside of entertainment into something that inflicts change? Because if they got all these people, following them, and the people that follow them, are they inflicting change in the culture?
No, they're not.
Okay,
it's minimal change. Yeah, so I'm not at odds with you in any way.
No, I ain't at odds with you neither. I'm just pointing out the fact that you can have all them followers you want to.
Facts.
It doesn't mean that those followers
you're actually
you're having an impact. Your pockets is having an impact. Yeah, your pockets is changing.
Right.
But the people that's following you ain't changing.
Right. But see, this is where I think, shout out to Kanye West, shout out to Byron Allen. See, I think brothers like that need to find ways to unify. Right. Because I think it's a trickle-down effect. At the end of the day, I think it's very observable that general common men and women what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, what is cool, what is not cool is typically determined by people in a celebrity status position in some capacity, especially in American society, right? So I think Black people are divided. So-called Black people are extremely divided. And if we see people amongst us that have the economic means to actually to inflict change, come from different schools of thought, different belief systems, different ways of operating, if they can unify at the top, it'll trickle down. It'll have a trickle down effect, because we respect those people. Unfortunately, we respect that they don't even necessarily actually have to be truly valuable to the cause or really have the knowledge, but they have the ability to bring together, right? Like, look at Gilly and Wallow. Gilly and Wallow, shout out to them brothers. I'm not saying they unintelligible or don't have wisdom and a lot of knowledge, right? But they're not versed in the things that we're versed in, right? One's a rapper, one was in prison for a lot of years, but they tapped into culture. They got people to listen to them. Wallow got people to listen to his message of change your mindset. Don't be attracted to going to prison. Don't get out here and be a crash dummy for OGs that ain't really looking out for you, right? Etc. 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 He was able to spread that messaging because he was getting the support of the people that have recognition and that are respected in the space because of the materialistic lifestyle marketing that they do, right? That they do.
Well, he don't. That's one thing about him. He don't really. That's not his thing. Well,
but the people are but the industry rock with Wallow. Wallow came in already with a pass because of his cousin.
Yeah, I mean for sure, but at the same time though, his story what resonated with people when he started first time coming on Instagram and all that, and getting up early in the morning out in the rain and all that. That's what resonated with people. It started off as
you can't take away the work from Wallow. Wallow
yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because he put that in, and even now, you know what I mean.
Yeah, Gilly didn't make Wallow. Gilly just
made him better.
A little bit more better. Yeah.
It made them better. They better together. They most definitely better together.
Facts. So yeah, man. I think.
And before any internet trolls, because we about to tap up out of here. For any of these internet trolls, get to tagging our podcast. Let me clear the air. We ain't got nothing against EYL. Got nothing but respect for them brothers and what they do.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And everybody else that we named on here, we was just using y'all in topic and in contrast. God damn it. Don't be all about. Don't come over here with no smoke, because I got fire extinguishers. I'm telling you, don't even play. Don't even play. don't even play.
I just feel like with Wallow give Gilly balance though, because
they give each other balance.
Yeah, but that comment that Gilly made about why would a nigga go buy a cow, that was some ignorant ass shit to say out your mouth.
But see,
you know,
we're gonna leave that for another episode.
We're gonna leave that. Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone. It ain't nothing against King, but that's what I mean by being smart and being like you said it earlier in the beginning. That's why I said what I said and go back to what you said in the beginning, Wealth Mogul, about a brother who is intelligent, a brother who decides to go the other way and do it the right way and educate themselves. Things like that get laughed at in our culture. You a square, you a clown. Who go buys land when I can go buy a watch? That's the type of you know.
Shout out, I feel what you're saying. And see, I think that's a good idea, bro. Marketing wise, it may not.
Marketing wise, yeah.
We all talk about it offline. Obviously, cooperate, making sure. You know what I'm saying? Collaborate, make sure it's all good. But I think that would be a great way to get some traction, is to talk about things in the culture, events in the culture, live and things, because that's what they do. Provide commentary. They talk about things. Now, we don't got to play it the same way, but we want the culture to listen to us, not because we want the popularity in the audience just for the sake of clout or money, but because we actually have valuable information that can positively shift the culture and affect the culture. So we want our information getting out on the airwaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Y'all people that's gonna watch this live or tuned in now, like what y'all just heard, like I just heard like the dude, what's his name? Jawanza Kajufu. Kawanza, him right there. That, like when you saying like just the syndromes that's yes sir, just the syndromes that's in us, the stuff that we deal with is I call it black rhetoric, bro. It's the black merry-go-round. It's the black merry-go-round, man. Yeah, Jawanza Kunjufu. Yeah, man, it's the black merry-go-round that we've been on for the longest, bro. Something that more than just getting on the soapbox and preaching about it and thinking we smarter than the next nigga, or our battle between emblems and clothing and materialistic shit. That's gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? It seems as if. And then you think about the Sunday's best, man. That's a real life mindset that came off of the cotton fields, man, that came from the plantation, wanting to look better than the next slave, man, from the outside. So
that's also in the Willie Lynch letter too.
I mean, it's 1,000 Willie Lynch letters out there if you think about it.
The base of it all is like what we said from the beginning: what you leaving behind and what you taking with you.
Yeah, man.
And what do you want your impact to be?
Let's get it, man. The effects of culture. Let's go.
You want to be.
I like it.
Absolutely.